What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. This is season 11, episode 14, and the episode is titled Resting Beach Face. And let's get right into the review. Now, y'all, we pick up exactly where we left off, and that is with the yelling and screaming of Bambi, and I was about to call her Blueface. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I'm talking about Spice. I'm sorry, baby girl has got to take off that damn blue wig. She really has to. Nonetheless, these girls are going back and forth, hooping and hollering. Bambi feels like Spice is singling her out. When it comes down to this whole Erica versus Spice situation, she's like, listen, Erica got other friends here. Why you ain't coming at them like that? And Bambi, I get that. I absolutely do. Because at the end of the day, you did answer a question. You said that y'all didn't talk about that. And Spice just needs to leave it there. Okay? Y'all out here hooping and hollering and screaming. It don't even make no sense. And then in the midst of all of that commotion, they've kind of settled it down a little bit. But here comes Scrappy, right? And I'm just like, so you already know, Bambi's blood is already boiling. We just took it up a level. So now that Scrappy is here, he's making his way around the damn table, saying hello to everybody, skipping right over Bambi, and went on over to his damn seat, right? So Bambi asked Shekinah, like, so how did we even get to the point where these two women are out here fighting anyway? Referring to Erica and Spice. So Shekinah, she basically is telling a story about how she got the two ladies together because there was tension or whatever. And the point that she decided to highlight was the fact that Erica lied and said that, her and the other girls fasted and prayed for Spice. Y'all, do y'all believe that Sierra, Bambi, and Erica was out here fasting and praying for Spice? Because I absolutely do not. Now, you have Bambi over here arguing back, but she's not saying, actually, Shekinah, we did do that. She never says that, they were fasting and praying for Spice. So I'm just like, Bambi, now you got to keep up with the lies that Erica done told. Stop being that girlfriend, please. So Shekinah, she already feels like these girls is out here lying, okay? Ain't no way y'all gonna sit up there and fast and pray for Spice when she ain't even really y'all homegirl like that. But y'all ain't fasting and praying over these niggas y'all with. I'm sorry, I laughed at that part. Because honestly, if you out here fasting and praying for Spice, you should have been fasting and praying over your marriage. So now you have Shekinah and Bambi going back and forth and back, right? Because Bambi, she has to put it out there that, her husband cheated on her and all of this foolishness. Now you got Amy chiming in saying, don't even worry about that. Don't argue with that. That's what she said. Don't argue with that. And I think that she was trying to say, don't even argue with this type of conversation. But it came off as like, you're calling Shekinah a that. I'm just like, girl, she ain't gonna take that well. So out of nowhere, Scrappy, he says, well, y'all want to know what the real thing is? And here comes Shekinah. You saved her. Baby, I hollered, okay? Because if we want to be technical, y'all, when we first met Bambi, we first met her as Malaysia Pargo's bestie. I don't even know if they're friends anymore. But they used to be friends back in the day, right? She was just her like hanger-on clinger friend. Then the next time that we saw Bambi, she popped up in the hot tub with Benzino and Kirk. And then out of nowhere, she started dating Scrappy. So I do low-key feel like there's a tiny bit of truth, because what does Bam actually have going for herself? Like, I am not trying to be rude, but what does she have going for herself? Not a damn thing. What happened to Shimmer? What happened to selling bundles? Please stop trying to have a rap career. But I feel like she kind of low key had a little point. Now, here comes the rebuttal because Bambi tells Shekinah that she ain't nothing but an assistant. And here goes Shekinah. Assistant? Assistant to who? Assistant to Spice? I said, well, I mean, I don't even know if you do hair anymore, okay? You used to do hair. I don't know if you still do that, Shekinah, but you did trade in Tiny for Spice. I'm just gonna throw it out there. So now you have multiple people in an uproar because Spice done tag teamed herself back into the argument. And I'm just like, this is too much, okay? Now, I can't lie. If I was Shekinah, I probably would have been like, and even if I was Spice assistant, I still got a job that you don't have because you ain't got no job, Bambi. But you know, it is what it is. Now, y'all, the funniest thing for me was Shekinah, in the midst of all of this whole argument, Shekinah jumps up out of her seat, hooping and hollering. Everybody's like, what is wrong with you? Come to find out, y'all, a eel ran across her foot. Baby, when I tell you I hollered, I was in here cackling, okay? Because honestly, if that was me, I would have lost it. When I tell you, we would have had to shut down production. The whole thing would have been shut down if something ran across my feet like that. Especially an eel. They are like very slimy. Ooh, no. So after the eel decided to leave, that was also the exiting music for a couple of other people. Shekinah left, Spice left, and then for some reason, when they leave, that is when Bambi decides to put another battery in her own back to be like, everybody wants to attack Bambi because I'm going through a divorce. Girl, I don't think that had nothing to do with that at all. Because you have Yandy chiming in like, girl, I'm not trying to attack you. That was never my intention. I think that Yandy was just trying to, tackle the elephant in the room. And it just blew up, okay? So now, this is like round 3 at this point for Bambi. Because now we got to get into her and Scrappy. Because he basically feels some type of way because she was talking about how, people are attacking her because she's going through a divorce. And his whole point is, it takes 2 people to get a divorce. He's tired of her blaming him for everything. And according to him, I guess she saw some text messages between him and somebody else. And then she just ran and filed for a divorce. He feel like, if she really wanted to be there, she would try to work it out. Y'all, I'm just so tired. Like, at this point, I feel like we done sat around with them way too long, okay? It was too much happening all in one night. So, y'all, we gonna slide on over to the next day because we gotta get to this conversation between Spice and Sierra. Now, in this conversation, Spice is basically trying to justify the reason why she came at Bambi so hard in the way that she did, but I am with Sierra. Ever since old girl had this surgery and she died and came back to life, she has had a chip on her shoulder. She has been loud. She's been disrespectful. She's been unnecessary a lot of the times. Spice has been a hot mess, okay? Because I feel like Bambi had already gave you an answer. She said that she talked to Erica. They didn't go into detail about what happened between the two of y'all. But it was what it was, period. You are sitting up here mad because these girls don't grovel to your feet the way everybody else in the cast does. Now, according to Spice, she basically agreed to see with Sierra that they all can be cordial. We shall see. So it's now time for everybody to get on this boat ride or whatever. And everybody says that they're going to be on their best behavior. We shall see. And you see Rennie, she is over there sunscreening and lotioning up and oiling up her body, and Chaotic over there getting turned on because you already know any type of woman who looks good, he is going to gawk at them talking about she made me forget all about Amy and Erica. Bye, Chaotic. Now, y'all, we had to see Carly over here shaking and quaking about to cry because Chaotic, he came over where the ladies were and he started like jumping up and down, but where they were laying down, it was just like netting or whatever. It wasn't like a flat surface on the boat. She is just talking about I had a near-death experience when I was younger, blah, blah, blah. Carly, you just wanted to be heard and seen. Don't nobody care about what you got going on. No offense, but we don't. Next thing you know, we see Rashida having a conversation with Spice. According to Spice, she feels like, she's just been triggered and talking to the other ladies was triggering to her. She doesn't want to come off as this angry black woman. And I'm just like, well, girl, you've been coming off as the angry black woman this entire season. So I'm going to need for you to go get some therapy. Okay? Maybe you need to spend more time with your kids if they bring you so much joy. So now we see Bambi, Sierra, and maybe it was Amy or somebody sitting with them. Don't really know who the third person was. But what got me was Sierra talking about last night took a lot out of me. Girl, it took a lot out of Bambi. Not out of you. Because what was you really over there doing? You was hollering a little bit, but not like your homegirl. So Bambi, she basically feels like she was attacked because of Erica's actions. And she absolutely was. It was definitely an attack on her based upon a proximity to Erica. Because everybody knows that they're like besties. And then next thing you know, Rennie, she chimes in and she feels like everybody being everybody business. And that is the problem. Like, she feels like people should be able to have conversations with their friends and you should not have to report back to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I agree. In the real world, that's how life works, but not on reality TV. Because everyone's lives have to, intermingle and intertwine when it comes to reality TV because we got to keep these storylines going. But let's go ahead and jump into the fact that now we have another beef that wants to restart because Amy goes on to talk about how Shekinah tried to check her when she was trying to get some bacon at breakfast about how how Amy said, in the argument that Shekinah was having with Bambi, she said something about calling Shekinah a that instead of like calling her like a person, I guess. And Amy had an attitude about that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not about to check her. However, come to find out, Rennie was the one who told Shekinah this. And now these two heifers decide to start arguing. What was crazy to me is when the camera panned out, you could see Kirk, Mendices, and I don't know who else was sitting there, but they just look like the old heads, okay? Like, they literally look like they have been working on this franchise for far too long. They don't want to be in the drama, and they are ready for the retirement plan. Y'all, and then to top it off, why is Carly Red over there shedding tears, talking about she's scared? Girl, scared of what? Scared of you getting thrown off the boat? Somebody gonna bump you off or something? Please shut up. So you have Rennie and Amy yelling at the top of their lungs. They had to be separated. And Rennie feels like the only thing that she did was tell Shekinah and Spice what other people were saying at the table. I guess what everybody's underlying remarks were. However, Amy feels like Shekinah tried to check her. Just, y'all, they are really stretching this out, and it is draining. And then here comes Carly Red talking about look at Shekinah. She just ruined our boat ride. I said, did she? Because Shekinah was over there cooling it while your homegirl Rennie and Amy was out here arguing. She didn't have nothing to do with that. She really didn't. So now, y'all, because we in the middle of the ocean and we still have to film here, we have now added Rashida and Yandy to the mix with Bambi, Sierra, and Amy and Carly. I'm just like, okay, what y'all got to talk about? So Yandy, she goes on to talk about how she was not trying to attack Bambi. She initially, I guess, asked those questions to her about if she talked to Erica. Oh, why she even say that? Because Bambi's like, I felt attacked because everyone's coming after me at that table. I'm just like, it was not everybody, girl. Okay? It was Spice, Shekinah, and a little bit of Scrappy. Them was the only people who was coming at you. It was not the whole table. Then of course, she pulls the Erica Mena card, and Bambi is going on about how I'm going through a divorce and I have to take care of these 3 kids. Girl, them 3 kids ain't got nothing to do with this situation. And honestly, neither does Scrappy, okay? You and Scrappy's conversation was really just y'all two talking in front of an audience. But all the rest of this, ma'am, you're really out here sounding like Erica Mena with the listing everything that you got going on in your personal life with the kids and how your man left you and all of this. We don't want to hear that. We really don't. Because let me tell you something. Scrappy has been doing what? Minding his business on this boat, okay? Baby boy ain't even hanging out with the rest of the guys. He's sitting with himself, taking in the scenery. You know what I'm saying? How about you do the same? But nonetheless, Rashida basically says that she's planning on having a karaoke night for everybody. And then when they get off the boat, here goes Amy like, well, I'm just going to stay in my room because, I don't want to come to the karaoke night, blah, blah, blah. Girl, you going to show up. Shut up. Because, y'all, why did they try to make us suffer through Yandy trying to convince this girl to come to a karaoke night, and then she had to give her some encouraging words and all of it? No, thank you. So we just gonna slide on over to the next scene, okay? Because we have Bambi meeting up with Jessica, y'all. Jessica finally gets there. You know what I'm saying? She a little late to the party, but she's here. And Bambi actually came up with the idea of doing a cleanse in the ocean, which I think is going to be amazing for her, as well as Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever else wants to join. I think Bambi definitely needs that, especially in this moment of where she is in her life. So next thing you know, we see that everybody is meeting up so that we can do this karaoke night, right? And we saw Yandy talk to Scrappy, and she's like, you were pretty quiet, all day. And he's like, he had a lot of stuff on his mind because, in that whole argument with him and Bambi, she jumped straight to the divorce. And according to Yandy, she's like, well, maybe she wants to take the divorce back. And he's like, no, the hearing is like in like a week. So I think like this is the end of their relationship, literally. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why he was sitting at the water taking it all in, because this is it. In a week, his marriage is over. Now, one thing that I just wanted to point out real quick is the fact that I thought Chaotic and Scrappy were like friends, like always hanging out and all that. Because since they've been on this trip, we ain't seen them in one scene together. But I'm going to let this rock. Here's the thing. For some reason, they have sectioned themselves off, y'all. It's like 3 different groups. There's like the neutral group, the Spice side of things, and then the Bambi side of things. And Yandy, she finds this to be so strange. How are we going to have a good time and fun if y'all out here, separated? So everybody sort of kind of come together, and Chaotic comes up with the idea of, hey, we're going to go around the room. You have to say something positive about somebody else. All right, that was cute. Now he's over here orchestrating the fact that Rennie and Amy, they need to come to some sort of compromise or something, because it don't make sense that they have all this tension and beef. So the ladies actually decide to squash their beef, I guess for real this time, because last time they were just people pleasing at the women's empowerment little event. So I'm assuming that now these two should be on the good foot. We'll see how long that lasts. Rashida and Kirk finally show up. So the bootleg karaoke night gets started. Y'all, I'm thinking that they're going to have like an actual setup for the karaoke, like have like a screen up where they can like see the lyrics, all of this. Absolutely not. They gave the people a microphone and said, go for what you know, because they didn't even have like a real speaker. It seemed like were they playing the music off of their phone and trying to read the lyrics from their phone? What was that? Then, because we were filming a TV show, You know they wasn't going to get all the clearances to have a bunch of other artists' songs. So now they out here rapping each other's songs. I cannot. Because like why is Chaotic rapping about he gonna chew all of my bubble gum? Pretty much that was the song. I don't know what that was by Rashida, but we gonna say that it was bubble gum. Yandy is out here doing a Spice song with a fake accent. What is happening? So in the midst of this foolishness that we're calling karaoke, Kurt actually pulls Scrappy to the side and tells him that even though him and Bambi are going through a divorce, they should have a conversation. And then next time we see Kirk, he's talking to Bambi saying the same thing, that they should have a conversation. So for some reason, Yandy is walking up with Scrappy. I feel like she just wanted to be in the mix because honestly, this was all Kirk's doing, but I'm going to let her cook. Kirk and Yandy, they walk away and we finally get to see a conversation between Scrap and Bambi that was not them arguing, hollering at the top of their lungs, and just being really mean and nasty towards each other. We start this off with Scrappy giving her all types of praise of how she's a good mother, how he loves her. We finally get an apology out of Scrappy, and he says that he should have handled things differently. Yeah. Like, we should have had this conversation months ago, but I'm gonna let you rock. Now, as he is continuously expressing things to her, I'm just like, what has happened? He need to go to the Bahamas more often. You know what I'm saying? Because this is like a whole new Scrappy. But when it's time for her to express how she feels, I can't lie. I was giving her a little bit of a side eye, you guys. Because Bambi always focuses on the hurt that he caused her, but never accepting any accountability on what she may have done as well. And what I mean by that is, of course, she talked about how, they shared 3 kids together and how she felt like he never gave her enough grace and how, she's had to put up with a lot. And it's like, yeah, but where are you going to admit something? I mean, it ain't even got to be nothing big, but you have to admit something, you know what I'm saying, that you could have done better in the relationship as well. Because I feel like in that moment, Scrappy was about to take a step back when he told her, like, you not perfect. But then he had to catch himself because he knew that would have caused an argument. Because y'all know, whenever he tells her, like, you played a part in this too, or, it take 2 people to get a divorce, she gets super offended, but it's not like what he's saying is not the truth. I think that when it comes to Bambi and Scrappy, number one, they on 2 different pages, for sure, but Bambi wants him to be accountable for his actions and how he has mistreated her over the years, and Scrappy wants her to admit that she has some type of flaws and she ain't perfect. And for some reason, these 2 people cannot do those 2 tasks. So he ends up telling her that, she's a blessing, how she definitely made a huge impact on his life, and how he loves her, appreciates her, all of this stuff, right? He even holds her hand and all that. I said, did he go to therapy before this? Like, did somebody walk him through what to say? Like, I feel like we have never seen Scrappy be like this, ever. And her response to all of that was, let me give you a hug. But when she gave him that hug, I said, oh yeah, baby, this relationship is over. Ain't nobody ever coming back. Because it just seemed very distant. Even though she gave him a hug and she's talking in her confessional like, I never wanted to go through a divorce. But girl, you ain't giving no type of effort. Like, even in this moment, you can tell Bambi is done. And y'all, that is where this episode ends, because Scrappy sachets away and what's her name? Bambi, she is wiping her face and there's not a tear in sight. Y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.